715-996.
With the Sinn Féin leader Gerry Adams, as I say, keeping it as local as we can, Gerry. You'll be familiar. You might remember a man called Don O'Leary.
Yes.
Yes. Don currently runs the Cork Life Centre. They've been struggling for the last 2 years to keep their doors open for the sake of 50 to 60 to 70,000. It's a very small amount of money, less than a TD's salary. Would you, if you get into government or if you've influence in the next government, guarantee the future of the Cork Life Centre?
Well, I'm not here, like the other politicians, to make promises ad infinitum. I do believe in the community and voluntary sector. I think a huge amount of citizens would have fallen through the cracks if those people out there who work in that sector weren't doing the huge work that they're doing. We generally want to see a reversal of the cuts. We have allocated money to do that. I would like to think that if we get a strong Sinn Féin team from Cork, that they will fight for that centre and for any other centre. So in general principle, we're for supporting, funding, ensuring that that sector gets its proper quota to help the citizens.
So is that a if we can, we will?
No, it is in a general principle, and our party is a party which is community based, and our candidates and our organisation and our activists are bedded and rooted in our communities. And you know, one of the great privileges that I have doing the job that I do is that I meet so many people like Don O'Leary who just do huge work. You know, I was going to make a point earlier on there about meeting Pat Buckley through suicide prevention strategies. You know, 1,000 people in this island die through suicide, at least that number every single year. They're not given the proper support, and those who work in the mental health sector aren't given the proper support. We're about reversing all
that
of
was
those
actually
cuts.
raised by a caller earlier on, that the debate last night did nothing to deal with mental health, and that it hasn't been coming up sufficiently during the course of the campaign. Another thing that I haven't heard discussed a lot is the issue of disability. It was brought to my attention that you had a fairly major event in Stormont recently to deal with autism, and yet the Cork Autism Network have been banging on your door looking for a meeting for a while with yourself or Mary Lou or somebody, and can't seem to get one. Is there a different take on disability north and south?
No, not at all. I meet advocacy groups for citizens with disabilities all the time. And if there's a scheduling issue around that, that's the only problem. I will, of course, meet that.
You will meet them.
I'm happy to do so. And let me make this point. You see, if you want, and we've discussed this in the past, if you want a quick outline of where Sinn Féin's core values are based, it's around the need and the right of citizens to have entitlements and rights as citizens just because you're born. And the proclamation doesn't say Irish men and Irish women, except the ones with disabilities. Those who have disabilities are the same as me and you, and they need to have all of the support that they can have. And people who mind them, their carers, whether it's parents or partners. And in terms of the way that we have rolled out our platform, we want to put money into public services. And that includes, in terms of medical cards, ensuring that children with serious illnesses or children with disabilities, as the first go, will get medical cards. We've priced that,
as of a right.
As of a right.
Yes. The whole costing thing, isn't that really, and I hear this from everybody, not just you, isn't this just a case of going into an accountant at the Department of Finance and saying, can you match those sets of figures? And they say, yes, that's costed.
PJ, Pierce Doherty, I think, has won a huge amount of respect for the very meticulous way he goes about these matters. So we exposed the government in the first 5 days of this campaign.
You had a different opinion on this.
No. We were proven to be absolutely right, because what is available, according to all of those who know these things, for the next government for the next number of years is 8.6 billion. The government came up with a figure of 12.6 billion, which was totally...
But just like you were able to, our peers were able to explain your version, the government were able to explain theirs,
no, they weren't.
And we're all stuck in the middle wondering
No, I know you're only doing your job here, but the government were not able. The government also said, we're going to take 4 billion out of the economy and give it away in freebies for the high earners and so on. But we said...
What, should we be doing away with the USC?
Well, that in particular when we can't afford to do that. We're going to
It's the middle earners, the USC is.
well,
kind
we're
of
going to
Gerry,
take.
not the high earners.
But the middle earners are people who earn below 28,000
No, that's not middle earners, that's low earners.
50% of the citizens in the state then
People
are
on the average
lower.
industrial wage have been crucified by USC.
Hold on, I agree with you, but just let's be clear about this. 50% of the people in this state earn below 28,000. That's fact. I'm not making that up. That's fact. Now we will take 250,000 of those people out of the USC. But come back to the main point that I was trying to make there. We have set aside a contingency fund out of that 8.6 billion, and the rest of the money we're going to put into hospital services, we're going to put into building homes, and we're going to reverse all of those cuts, whether it's telephone allowances, whether it's bereavement grants, whether it's allowances for carers and so on, and we're going to reverse that. And you raised an issue about costing. It is possible to do that on the figures that are available to us because we have a political will to do it. For the last 5 years, the government had a political will to do the opposite.
And if you're going to do it, you'll have to be in government to do it. I guess we'll know all that in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
I've been asked to read something to you. Oh, that's gone off the screen. Oh, fair enough, Chris. That is it back there? Where is that? I've been asked to read this to you, and I'd like you to, if you wouldn't mind, to listen to the end and then answer. Caller wants to know, is Gerry going to apologise to John Corcoran's widow for his execution in Milltown, County Kerry? He was dumped at the back of EMC factory in Ovens. He had 8 children, that was in the 80s. Or Kieran Damery of Coveman, one of the West Limerick Brigade that shot Jerry McCabe. He's in Colombia. Is he coming back? And they say, don't mind the budget stuff. We want your background. And this caller refers to a car, a Toyota Corolla, blue Mark 5 4-door AX1222, which that caller says was your IRA staff car. Do you remember that car, Gerry?
No, I don't. But isn't it wonderful that somebody can phone in anonymously and you can rehearse those remarks?
I'm not rehearsing it, Gerry. To be fair now, I'm reading what and the notes on my
same
screen.
point, PJ. Don't dodge the issue. That an anonymous caller phones in here with that sort of nonsense, and it's about 2 tragic cases, it appears to me, and you read it out and expect me to answer to it. You know, that's just ridiculous.
You don't think they're fair questions?
I don't even know what the question is actually about. And I don't think that you, as a radio presenter, should just take any head the ball could phone in here with any issue whatsoever, and you won't rehearse that the way you've just.
I'd ask the same question of any leader that was typed up on my screen.
Okay.
I would.
I'm sorry, I don't accept that is the case. Do you know who that person is?
They will have a number outside and a name. I've no doubt.
Okay.
I've no doubt.
Well, if that person has any information about anything illegal or criminal, they should go to the Garda Síochána. That's where they should go with that information.
I would put it to you one thing, and before I leave it, I know we're gone over time now, but before you were a bit late getting in, so we'll give it another minute. When I spoke to, and I have spoken with Martin McGuinness on more than one occasion, Martin McGuinness has never denied his IRA background. People still believe that you were there. Many people still believe you were in the IRA. Are you ever going to fundamentally either tell us you were or prove that you weren't?
Well, first of all, that question is an entirely academic question at this time because the IRA have gone. The IRA are history. And I'm one of the people, along with Martin McGuinness and others, who helped to create that development. And I'm very proud that we, both in terms of standing up against the British and the Unionist regime, that we did that. But then we were able to create opportunities for peace, and that the IRA embraced that. Now, you see the people who are listening to this programme this morning, if I may say so, please. See the people who don't know where they're going to get their dinner. See the people whose kids are in Canada or Australia, and they don't know if they're ever going to see them again. And you see those people who are on the homelessness here, people who are
You're
on the
saying,
street.
or you're going to tell me that they don't care.
Well, no, I didn't. I'm not going to say that. That question will not resolve their problems. Sinn Féin are standing the largest number of candidates we've stood in my lifetime. There is a chance to get a new government, a progressive government, elected to rectify all that's been done wrong. This is the centenary of 1916. Wouldn't it be great that citizens would have rights in this state as opposed to what we have at the moment?
Well, Gerry, we wish every single one of the candidates the best of luck, as we do with all the parties and all the leaders. Thank you for coming in, Gerry.
Thank you, PJ.
Gerry Adams, leader of